From Don Revere to Bielsa, Billy Bremner to Ampadu, story stitched in every banner, every scar, every bruise. Yorkshire rose on our chest now, smiley badge, we rep the best. On the steps and in the turnstiles, every chant from the depths. Ellen Road, hear us roll, we are Leeds. We are Leeds. Forevermore, from the cup to the streets. We are Leeds. We are Leeds. We are Leeds. Heavy lad, every last white shirt, heart that never leaves. Ellen Road, hear us roll, we are Leeds. We are Leeds. We are Leeds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your instant match reaction. It is full time at Ellen Road. Leeds United 0, Manchester City 1. We're here to break it all down. Felt like Leeds could have went for it a little bit more in the tail end of that game. It felt like we had a little bit more to give, and probably a little bit too late again. Daniel Farke's substitutions right at the end of the game. Not sure if many people caught it because they probably switched it straight off, but Daniel Farke was sent off directly after the game for whatever he said to the referee. He's received the red card, so I'm sure now, I don't know if that's 3 or 1, but he'll definitely be missing for the next game now on the sideline, which is obviously not great, Dylan. It's not a detrimental day. It's Manchester City. We know they're one of the best teams in the league, but again, it feels like one of them that we didn't fully go for it. Like, we didn't kind of let the shackles off and go at City a little bit more.
I think within the first 20 minutes, Leeds were up on that, and it seemed to be one of them games where we controlled the tempo of the game, and we missed a few chances. City kind of came into the game, start upping the tempo a little bit. I think the goal itself was very laxy daisy from Rodon or Stroke.
Bad time to concede it, Dillo, as well, wasn't it? Like just before half time. Like there's never a good time to concede a goal, but it's always before the half time and after the half time. And there, them last 2 minutes when they're added on, and I said it in the watch along, you need to be solid there mentally, Dylan. They're the moments in the games where you're not conceding there. You're going in at half-time, you're building from there. It's a bad goal to concede, and it's a bad time to concede.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the negative so far, the ball shouldn't have came in the box for starters. Yet again, schoolboy error, not picking up your man. But look, it was a great ball that was put in. Obviously, Semenyo, with the quality that he has, he's going to put it in the back of the net. Going forward, just because it's really irritating me. I just want to get it out. The referee was absolutely horrendous tonight.
Yeah, it's every week, though, isn't it? Like,
poor
it's
official again, and
you don't want to be saying that like every time you come on, but I think you're right, Dylan, isn't it? It's like even when you win games of football, you always kind of come away feeling like the refs are just bad, aren't they, Dylan? Like, they're just so poor. Like the standard of officiating in English football has just completely nosedived since the introduction of VAR and the help of video assistants and that. Like, it's gone so bad. Like, and I actually wouldn't even be surprised in 10 years' time that we probably won't even need referees anymore. Probably all just electronic, because the way it's going now, it's bad to watch. It's not good for the the flow of the game. They're just so poor. They're relying on the video assistants and that as well. But I think you're right, Dylan.
You can't even get like decisions right where a ball goes off a player, goes out for a throw in.
Yeah,
technically it's off, but there was a good few throws that we should have had. You get to talk about penalty claims, handballs. Look, I'm not going to get into them too much, but yet again, the referee just hadn't a clue what he was doing. If I'm being honest with you, Danny, there, robots. That's exactly what they are. They're just there, more or less. To
do you think now that the way it's gone, we'll get back onto the game. We'll kind of finish up like talking about the referees, because sometimes they're not even like worth the breath. But like, do you feel like now is that because now they have become over reliant now on VAR now, that if they do make a wrong decision, that it's kind of all right because they have VAR there to kind of overturn it. So they've gone like a little bit lax, where like back in the day, like referees were like so on it. And I think before, when I used to watch football without VAR, and that's why I do watch it, like go by the Championship and the Scottish League, because the game is just free flowing and you can kind of take the human error side of it, when they get things wrong. But like, there's so much more on it. But with the referees and the video system referees, and they're still getting things wrong, it's just it's frustrating.
Like, there's a few major things that they get wrong. Not just in this game and in other games, but yet again, it seems to be like, it clearly a foul, and like it's been ran past, and then all of a sudden you're kind of waiting as a fan to sit there and go, "Are they going to go to VAR to run this back?" And they don't, and you're kind of just like, your referee can't make a decision at all. But look, enough about that, because he was just a donkey of a referee. Honestly, God, just pure donkey. But moving forward into the game, yeah, Leeds were, look, Man City, the quality, the one touch football, just look, they were unbelievable. I'm not going to lie, they were quality. They just made us look silly at times.
I think the first half an hour, Dylan, we imposed our game on them.
Yeah,
I thought our press was brilliant. I do have to say that. And I thought
was, yeah.
Jaden Bogle at right back was sensational. Sorry if I'm going horse here, lads. Jaden Bogle at right back was like sensational. And I actually thought our press was really good. And we didn't give City anything in that first half an hour. And then after that, you could see them. What we've seen from City all through the years on Pep's side is they start to work their way into the game. Them little passes, 2-touch passes, knocking the ball around and dragging Leeds about. And then probably for the last 8 minutes of the first half, it probably felt like it was coming, Dylan, because we've all watched City over the years and we know what they do. They do this, and all of a sudden then it's just one runner, a third man run, the ball's in behind, one little lapse in concentration, and all of a sudden then you're 1-0 down, and it's frustrating. But I do have to give it to the lads. The first half an hour, we were very good. We put so much into the game. Ellen Road was absolutely rocking as well. It was a disappointing time to concede, and the way we conceded as well was disappointing. Then the second half, you're probably looking maybe the first 10, 15 minutes to make sure you're defensively solid so you don't concede a second, and then maybe go for it a little bit more. But I thought even when we brought Lucas Mecha on, I thought we would have went a little bit kind of more direct and kind of go at them a little bit more. Didn't really work out. We barely seen Mecha and Calvert-Lewin then after that,
Even the subs, though, you fast forward to, I actually can't really fault Daniel Farke today, to be honest with you, lads. I just simply down to the players not pulling their strings. He has credit in the bank, but Eden Ampadu, I thought, was very poor today. Like, misplaced passes, like ridiculously amount of them. Stack at times, his crossing as well was a bit poor.
Gruev gave it away a good bit today as well.
I thought Gruev was very bad as well, but in them types of games when them players aren't playing well, I mean, you've talked about it highly on this channel. For the players that are coming on, DJ, Nanto, whoever else came on, Mecha, they should be the game changers. They should be the ones with the bit between their teeth and want to prove on. I'm not saying they needed to score a goal, but certainly should have played a lot better. DJ in particular, first chance he got, was a ball in. It was really out of stand.
I think it's rusty. Dylan Nanto done the same as well. When Nanto came on his first touch, he played one inside, and the ball, it was a poor pass, and it's nicked away as well. But these are players that aren't playing much, Dylan, and you're bringing them on in a game against the likes of Manchester City, trying to get something like, and it's very rare that it is going to happen. We'll get through a couple of the comments, Dylan, then we get back onto the comments are flowing in here from the lads. Yorkshire Horror says here, what happened at the end with Daniel? I don't know what he said, and I don't think we'll probably ever know what he said, but he seemed to make a beeline for the referee, Peter Banks, and he looked fairly animated, and he had no hesitation and threw out the red card straight away. So if anyone can find out, I don't know if it's going to be a game or a 3-game suspension. I don't know if a straight red for a coach is the same as a player, but he's definitely going to be missing for the Sunderland game anyway on Tuesday night. It's the two Dillos, so I do apologise about the throw guys. I am really hoarse.
There's no point in me apologising because it's good.
Deutsch and Deutsch brothers, the Deutschies. Farke gets a wee. I think he needs to take a week off now, doesn't he? Farke to calm himself down. Sunderland at home on Tuesday night, and we need to bounce back now. This year, probably since the last time we played Man City, when we have lost the game, Dylan, we have bounced back, and it's imperative that we do that now against Sunderland on Tuesday night. Last time he was in the stands after a sending off, we battered Sheffield United. Do you remember that actually? Yeah. So hopefully a good omen in that. Maybe we should throw him into the stands more often. Why the refs hate us so much? Yeah, they just do because we're Leeds, mate, isn't it? Just because we're Leeds. That's right. Seriously, if a player outstretches his hand over his head and he hits it, isn't it a penalty? Well, that would be my understanding of it as well, is that if your hand is anyway away from your body, we've seen it given for the last 2 years in the Premier League. If your hand is away from your body at any sort of level, even if it's accidental, it's a penalty. But even more so, I want to get your guys' thoughts on it, because I was doing the watch along and I didn't get to see a replay of it. The pull on Rodon, when Rodon was being grappled with and pulled down, like
penalty.
For me, like a
penalty all day.
Probably all the Leeds hat on. Like, let us know what your thoughts as well in the chat as well. But Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, someone dirty Leeds there just put it up. Corrupt. It's the best way to sum it up, if you ask me. I simply believe, we go back to the referee situation about I can't make decisions and reliant on VAR, but didn't even go to VAR.
Yeah.
So what's the point of having it if you're not going to make, if one man on a pitch can't get control of the game or make a decision, what's the point of having VAR there if you're not even going to look?
Don't
They
even
said, the
review it.
commentators said that they looked at it, but not a hope. Like, I'm looking at it here as a fan. Everyone in the chat here is saying it. Like, Matt's saying it there as well. Like, I'm not being blunt here now, but we're all not stupid. Like, we can all see it. Like, so
Be interesting if the shoe was on the other foot, Dylan, and that was Manchester City.
oh
You
my
know, would they go
God,
and
yeah, there'd
review
be
it? Yeah.
uproar. We'd probably get a fine. Still waiting for their 115 charges as well. Can't stand City, lads. So sorry.
You'd be still waiting. Yorkshire Horror says here, so much time wasted by City. The ref blows the whistle right on the clock. It was wild, but even all through the game, Yorkshire Horror, like I was saying, it from any of their set pieces, throw-ins, whatever it may be. I thought they were taking an age over Donnarumma as well, and that's just City, isn't it? They're always like that. They take the time over everything. Stack losses, man, for the goal. It's just...
It's
just that lapse in concentration, and just that split second, and Aiton already makes the run then in behind. Then
I think the standout players for me would be Gabby Gudmundsson and my star man, because if the players on the pitch had made the equaliser or got the winner, Karl Darlow, he's absolutely phenomenal tonight, lads. And he's my player of the match. He was
pulled off a cracking save in the first half. The one when he was going to his right and the ball went to his left and he clawed one back. And then the one from Mark Gahey in the second half, Dylan, because it was flicked on, and then Gahey gets another touch on it, and Karl Darlow somehow claws it back. Yeah. And I said at the time in the watch along, if Leeds did go on and get anything from that game, full credit goes to Karl Darlow there. So he was brilliant today. Ian says Dan James can't cross a ball. It's standards. Yeah, it was bad. That one there where he cuts back inside, like you'd expect a footballer, and I know he's been out for a while, just to be able to stick a ball in the box. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you have to be overly fit just to clip a ball into a box.
I didn't want to say that to you. That's the bit that I'm trying to get to, is when the players that are starting and it was a good few of them today. The game changers that we call them that are coming on should be making an impact. That bit between their teeth. Mechin, Nonto, James, and he didn't. Like as you said, I think DJ, the first chance he gets, he whips the ball in, and Sleely kicked out Ellen Road altogether. So I'm trying not to be too harsh, because I feel like we were robbed. I feel like it was a bit of corruption there. And then yet again, as you said, the first half an hour, Leeds dictated the game. The press was just so there.
When you even go back to the first half an hour, Dylan, because I have it down on the notes here, like we did have a couple of opportunities. It wasn't like the game was void of opportunities for Leeds, and we the one very early on from Calvert-Lewin when it looked like it might have been a foul on Mark Gahey, but Calvert-Lewin probably should have done a little bit better with the chance. But it's a great ball fizzed across the box from Brendan Aronson, and he probably should have done a little bit better. It is on his weaker left foot, it does have to be said, but he had another chance after that when he kind of bullies Mark Gahey a little bit and flicks it beyond Donnarumma as well. And then Brendan Aronson had two good chances as well that was blocked from Mark Gahey, and one when he ran in one-on-one as well. So we did have opportunities in the game to go 1-0 up, and at this level, Dylan, in the Premier League against a team like Manchester City, when you get a half chance like that, you have to be taking them. You have to be putting them away.
We have to. Look, we're unlucky with them chances, and obviously DCL's one as well, the headers. Pial was obviously lucky at the end as well with a court. Like, these are the types of games where, like, the chances were created, but we're just unlucky. And you can talk about quality or just completely unluckiness, but you should be putting them away. It's as simple as that. With one chance that Man City had, they put it away yet again. Schoolboy error not matching, following your runners, and Stack lost his man, if you ask me, and then rode on a stroke. Should have done better for the ball to actually come across for Semenyo to put it in the back of the net. Look, other than that, it wasn't, as you said at the start of the video, a detrimental game where I can turn around and go, Leeds are this and Leeds are that, and we were poor, and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't the case at all. It was simply down to fine margins of the game and just lacks a little bit of quality and a little bit of tempo. And I'm not blaming this man. I've said this before, but he has credit in the bank as Ethan Ampadu. You'd expect him to step up a little bit more. I thought his passing was very poor today, but yet again, it's not down to him. There's 11 people. But
it's hard to kind of criticize Ampadu, Dylan, isn't it? Because
it is. Yeah.
Like I remember when we were on that losing run and the performances were low, there was a lot of criticism coming in for Ethan Ampadu, and he did speak about it on the official podcast as well, that he'd be out in Leeds and getting a little bit of guff as well, but he's been so good prior previous Dylan to this game, he's been brilliant the last 13, 14 games for Leeds, a proper midfield general in there. But you're right, I do think he was a little bit off of today. It doesn't even have to be his passing, but I think like his tackling and his kind of aggressiveness was kind of missing in the game today.
Yeah.
But again, I don't single him out, Dylan. I think like the midfield, I don't think Gruev was great. Stack showed glimpses, but wasn't fully on his game. And that's the thing about Manchester City, Dylan. You can't afford to have a below par performance. Everybody needs to be on a Farke spoke about it in his pre-match press conference that you need to be on it. Everybody needs to have a 10 out of 10 day. You know, if you're going to be beating Manchester City, and unfortunately it just wasn't them days, and it was close.
I think with the midfield now going into Sunderland on Tuesday, it needs a shake-up. Obviously, Ampadu going to start, but Gruev needs to come out now for sure. Longstaff or Tanaka, whatever one he wants to take a punt on, but it needs a bit of rotation in that midfield.
Sunderland, so you'd like to see him go for it. I can understand Gruev starting the game today. I can understand, not that I like it, but you would think against Sunderland, he's going to go for it a little bit more. Even if it's Aronson in that three and go with two up top with Lucas Meche and Calvert-Lewin and go for it a little bit more, you think we'd have to be a little bit more tackling against them. I would like to think. Let's get through a couple more of the comments here. Brian says here, at least we're still 6 points ahead of West Ham, and that's probably why I don't feel too bad, Dylan, is if West Ham had got something at Anfield today, we lost that game, you're probably feeling a little bit worse, but
it is what it is.
It's as you were between us and them, regardless of what, Spurs do or Forest do or whatever anybody else does, regardless of that now, is that we still have that gap to that relegation zone. So that's obviously the most important thing. It's as you were with West Ham today. So if we're going to lose, at least they're slipping up as well. Starman says, such a brave effort. Biggest disappointment was giving the ball away too easily at times. 10 out of 10 for effort. I agree with that as well. Effort was absolutely there. The quality, probably not so much.
I think that actually sums it up from Starman, to be fair. That's a great comment.
Yeah. Plus the performance, if we play like that for the remainder of the season, the remainder of the games this season, we'll be in the Premiership next season. MOT says, Ian Ward, that commitment and desire does have to be there. What about no red for the step on Gruev? That's actually an interesting one, Dylan, isn't it? I know, look, it wasn't the proper aggressive sort of stamp, but Gruev was on the ground. Shirky clips the ball out of him, kind of falls over the top of his boot, and then ends up standing right on Gruev's foot. And like the ref just gives him a talking to, and you're like, you can't just go over and just stand on someone's shin. Like.
Well, this is it. And I know, back to the referee real quick, he's waiting for someone in his ear or his mind to make a decision to go to VAR to check that. But whether he's seen it or not, it doesn't make a difference. For me, you stand on a player's leg when the player is clearly on the ground, whether to get the ball, whether to wind them up, whatever it may be at all, it's a card. Whether it's a red, yellow, it depends on obviously the stomp and the impact. But it shouldn't have been done. Shin guards or no shin guards, you could clearly see Gruev kind of putting his hands out as if to say, I'm not moving here, I'm down. Yeah, but look, that's Man City all over. They have to, I'm not going to say cheap, but they certainly have to.
There's that dirtiness about them or something. They're like dirty kind of tactics.
I can't stand them anymore. I like, and not that I ever had a soft spot for City. I didn't mind City, but obviously with everything going on with them at the minute, and
I'd rather Arsenal win the league anyway.
I do. I actually hope they do. I really do. Just because I'm sick and tired of Man City, and hopefully now next season when their comes out, they get relegated and be gone for good, and we never see them again.
And I thought kind of going into this game, I thought kind of maybe the stars were aligning a little bit when Haaland was out injured as well. I was like, this could be, you know what I mean, one of our days today. Like Haaland not being there, faking an old injury or not playing against Leeds today. Jam says here, 2 up front against Sunderland. Got to get points in that one. I think we need to bounce back, don't we? Get all 3 points in that, and then you move on then to the next one. Ian Ward says 10 games left. West Ham have to win 3 more games than us. It's never going to happen. Yeah, you just never know. You would like to think not in, but it's Leeds United and it's football, and sometimes you never know. So until it's confirmed and it's signed and sealed and it's mathematically confirmed that Leeds United are in the Premier League next season, we just have to keep going. But 10 games to go, Dylan. The season is absolutely flying by, isn't it now? Obviously Sunderland on Tuesday and then that little bit of an international break, but it's been a quick season, hasn't it? Yeah,
man. Look, and we said it in the last video as well. I'm really thoroughly enjoying this season, especially for Leeds, and we talked about it last season as well. When we do get into the Premier League, to enjoy it. And enjoy obviously the championship when we won it. So, with criticism about the board and the manager and the ups and the downs that we all have with this club, I can honestly say I'm proud of the club and proud of the lads and Daniel Farke as well. And look, it's just one of them things. It doesn't feel we feel robbed because you're going to go about the ref and etc. like that. But I can honestly turn around and go, well, we were piss poor or we were this or we were that, that kind of way. So
Yeah.
I think when if you see the lads putting on the shirt and fighting for the shirt, what we've said week in week out is really what you want for your team to do. The most best, and they certainly done that. So I'm enjoying it. I have to say.
Yeah. The back line as well, Dylan. Like for all like the possession that City had, and obviously the goal, like we touched on the goal that we gave away. I actually thought defensively, Dylan, we looked solid enough with, and again, James Juleson will have a serious battle going on that right shin. I don't know if anyone's seen the blood coming from his shin in that tackle that he went through. I think it was Mark Gahey, the two of them came together and the blood, but he had another good performance today. Again, James Juleson. Joe Rodon looked a bit touch and go for a bit when he went down holding his hamstring as well. And then I thought Pascal Struijk was solid as well today. So the back line overall, Dylan, although we did lose the game, I thought we actually looked really good, and Gabby Goodmunson with another brilliant performance as well.
I thought Gabby was phenomenal. I really do. He's the outlet down that left hand side. What's the final third where we're missing, whether it's a shot or a cross across the box. But like yet again, they were kind of good. I think Ruben Diaz for them was sensational. He's he's a shithousery, if that's what you want to call him, but he's a really good centre back.
Yeah, solid.
But that's just that's the quality. That's the money that Man City spent. That's what gets you when you cheat your way through the league over the last how many seasons.
Amor says here, did Rodon do his hamstring? It looked like he did initially, and obviously he was holding it, and then he played on for another 10 or 15 minutes. He was hobbling for a bit, and then he seemed like he was okay, and then he took him off, which it's one of them where, look, you don't want Rodon to go off. I'm sure he doesn't want to come off either, but you have to do the best for the team at the time, Dylan. If you're not particularly at it and you're fully fit to play the game, sometimes you just put your hand up and you be all on. So hopefully he is okay. Hopefully it is just a little bit of a twist on it, and he is going to be okay for Sunderland, because now with 10 games to go, we need to avoid as many injuries as we possibly can, because we're going to start coming down to crunch time fairly quick. Farke said himself, them last 6-7 games, that's when you really need all your players available. Gahey for me is quality, lads. Yeah, absolutely. And City have got him for a steal as well, haven't they? Just for me, it's disappointing he's gone there. Do you know what I mean? I would like him to kind of see maybe, if he did kind of go to Liverpool or Arsenal and that. But yeah, City kind of always seem to pick up them players, don't they? But Dylan, it is kind of, I love doing these match reactions, because you come in initially at the start and you're especially when you lose a game, regardless of who you play, when you lose a game, you're always going to be a little bit hot under the collar and a little bit emotional. But like when you kind of talk through it, and like it was a decent performance from Leeds United tonight. Like the effort was absolutely there. It just felt like maybe we could have just rolled the dice a little bit more and went for it. Even if we had ended up losing 2-0, it felt like we just didn't really, all hands to the pump maybe and try and get the equaliser.
I think within the second half, I think it was probably just after half time, really. The tempo was non-existent, and they were tippy-tapping around midfield. We were just getting bypassed.
Yeah.
Like we were on, like I think it was Semenyo had a shot and a blocked off stroke. It was literally, if we counted, I think it was 22 passes, and then Semenyo was on the end of the ball. Stroke hadn't got that block in.
Brilliant block,
as well. So it just shows the quality. And you actually said it in the watch along as well. When they are knocking it around at the back, or when they are tiptoeing it, you can, in them type of moments, you can switch off, which can, pull us under the pressure and they're on the attack again. But then there was moments in the game where we did win the ball back and we were going to break the, for the counter attack, but none really kind of came of it. Then there was a few times like using Ampadu as a leeway here, where we did get the ball and looking for the ball over the top, and nothing really worked. Nothing was, kind of getting there, or the side passing that Gruev was bringing to the game. Really, he held onto the ball an awful lot. So I just think we lacked in quality, but yet again we should have moved the ball a little bit quicker and up that tempo, like what we done in the first half an hour in the first half.
Yeah. Tom White saying here, can't say that Farke didn't go for it. No, the subs that he made, definitely he wanted to go for it, like Nanto and James and Mecha, but I probably felt maybe the players, I don't think we'd done enough to probably go and chase the game. So Farke made all the substitutions, the positive ones, to go after it and try and get the draw in the game. But it felt, as a team, Dylan, it felt like that we didn't say, what would you say, throw the kitchen sink at it. Do you know what I mean? We didn't go, right, let's try and go after and get this equaliser. It felt like we were still a little bit reserved in our play. For me, but you can't blame that to Farke, because Farke made the sub. He went 2 up top, brought on the attacking players and James and Nonto as well.
Why is it always so late though? Sorry for crusher. You know, like use the 80th minute for example, 10 minutes to go and Leeds start to up the tempo, and you can hear the commentators going, "It's still early days for Leeds." And we seem to be kind of up in the tempo. It was all Leeds.
Yeah.
So like, why does it come so late in the game? It's too little, too late. Don't get me wrong. We all love a late equaliser or a late winner. I get that, but do it early. Do it early and control the game and the tempo. You know, you could see Man City, like, they were jaded as well. It wasn't just us. So I just think in them sort of moments, you know, especially with 10 minutes to go, it's a little too late. You know, I think with the second half, like what you done in the first half an hour, you stuck into them, press, control and dictate the game, and that we didn't do that.
You were never going to keep that up for 90 minutes, Dylan. Like,
no, of course.
Like the first half an hour was like fantastic, but like that's where, right, if you're going to do it for the half an hour and you get the chances like that, well, you need to take a chance then when it comes your way, and then you have something kind of defend and something to kind of hang on to then a little bit. But when we didn't score our goal and City get on top then the last 15 minutes of the first half, and then they get their goal, well, then that's maybe then when you try and make the positive changes then to try and get yourself back into the game there. But look, as everyone's saying here in the chat, Arthur says here, Farke not happy, we did not get the penalty and the tackle on Justin, and then he says that the ref was shit as well, and it's everyone is saying it as well. But the thing is that there's no surprise, because we've seen this throughout the years in the Premier League. The big sides, the so-called top 6, they always get the decisions all the time, and the refs always seem to limit them. We've seen it.
Of course, it's always going to be that way, and this is what we're talking about. The referee situation in the Premier League. It's absolutely piss poor. It's not any better in the Championship, but certainly not any better in the Premier League, lads. And this is the type of industry that, you know, we all love, and it should be just a better standard, and it's simply not. It's not good enough. And you know, for Farke now being banned for the next game, and now coming out in a press conference and, you know, probably going off the head, nothing's been done about it. And who's to say now, come at the end of the season, touch wood, if Leeds do go on a bad run and we end up getting relegated, like, this could be detrimental to us because of a referee can't get a decision right. You know, so it's simply not good enough. Like, you have this technology and you can't even look at it, and that's what's irritating.
I think, Dylan, when we kind of zoom out a little bit, look, you're definitely going to be emotional after losing the game of football either way, regardless of refs and, you know, the quality opposition you're up against. But if you look at this kind of little mini run of fixtures that we've had, we looked at it here in Leeds Bros prior to Nottingham Forest, and we said Forest, Chelsea and Aston Villa away is going to be tough, and then Manchester City at home. When you're looking at them run of fixtures, thinking, look, that's going to be a tough run of fixture, but it's actually not bad. And if you had said we come out with a win, 2 draws and a loss, like, you would have snapped in your hand. And that's zooming out and looking in at it. You know, maybe we could have got all 3 points at Villa Park, could have been a little bit sweeter, but we robbed a point down at Stamford Bridge as well. But you look forward, Dylan, to the next 3 games that we have. Obviously Sunderland on Tuesday night, Palace up after that, and then isn't it Brentford at home as well? So the next 3, you look at them, more winnable. Now, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in football, but on paper, they're more winnable games. So you probably look at that, Dylan, thinking Leeds will probably get 6, maybe 7 points out of the next 3 games. So we could nearly be safe, Dylan, if we could pick up, you know, another 3 wins. You would hope that would see Leeds over the line.
I'd like to think so, and you know, as you said, nothing's guaranteed, but certainly them types of games would certainly, you know, build morale and confidence back into this team. But then this is a worry as well. I was just thinking when I was coming up to do the video, you know, sorry if we come back to the ref again, but that could shoot all these boys' confidence, you know, afraid to jump into a tackle, afraid to do certain things because of the officials as well. So when you look at it, it isn't detrimental, and we can't sit here and go that the lads didn't try, but coming into the next few fixtures, hopefully the boys can bounce back and get a few points on the board just to kind of keep that gap, as you said, from the, you know, we've kind of been saying it the last couple of weeks, Darren, we don't want to be looking over our shoulder, we want to be looking up, and, you know, this weekend we're kind of looking over our shoulders, let's be honest with you.
It depends what way the results go, yeah.
Of course, yeah. So I just think now, going into Tuesday, a solid performance, take all 3 points, walk out of there, and on to the next one. It's as simple as that. There's no point to
dwelling on it. It's one of them that it's done in the bin. Onto the next one. And it's not going to be the point. Yeah, it's not going to be the point. Yeah. Jam says here, we've come out of a tough run, still in good shape. Now we have remaining games that we can get points from. I think we win 2 of the next 3. I think, I think so. Very, very winnable games coming up now for Leeds United. Again, no guarantees because it's football. We know weird things happen in football, but on paper, Leeds have a nice run of fixtures coming up. Shane Shank says robbed. Yeah, it definitely it does feel like that today. Dylan, probably hard to pick. We always do this at the end of every instant match reaction, but your man of the match today for Leeds United, who are you going with?
Carl Darlow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carl Darlow as well. Then I thought like he was brilliant. Only for him, you're probably talking maybe 2 or 3 as well. 2 definitely top drawer says from Carl Darlow today. But my voice is gone. Done. Oh. That is it for your instant match reaction. Leeds United are bet at Ellen Road. But we'll leave it there, guys. We look forward. It's going to be a quick turnaround to Sunderland now on Tuesday night, where Leeds United have to bounce back and go back to winning ways. So that's it from us, guys. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and, of course, hit that subscribe button. Mind yourselves. Mind each other. Catch you in the next one.